It's a beautiful day in Hawaii, and what better to do than to take a bike ride up to Haleakalā. So I started my day riding my Kawasaki, deciding that I wanted to take the back roads. I wanted to take the roads that are a little less traveled, and plus the roads are in better condition. So I started out at the county dump site, which is kind of odd, but there's a road that takes you all the way up to Haleakalā from there. So just cruising past the county dump. It smells so wonderful over here. What you'll see as we start coming past the dump is large fences to hold all the debris in. Hold some of it in, but a lot of it gets out, as you can see on the litter on the side, which sucks, but it is what it is. We're coming up on the Lahaina debris dump site. So all of the wildfire debris from Lahaina was temporarily put in Olowalu, which is very close to Lahaina, but they had to create this dump site here in central Maui to contain any leaching of any of the heavy metals and things like that were found from all the wildfire debris. So the Army Corps of Engineers probably spent, or they're estimated to spend around $60 million for all of this. They worked really, really hard on it. Obviously, those guys really jumped in. Everybody wants Maui to be back on its feet, and the Army Corps of Engineers did a great job of helping get them back up and running. You see these guys up here are super nice. They're always friendly. One aspect about taking these back roads is they're in really good condition. There's only a few spots where there's debris on the road, but most of the time the roads are kept up really, really nicely, all the way up to the top of the mountain. And, even on a day like this, there's hardly any traffic out, so you can really kind of light it up a little bit if you like to. Don't tell anyone. Really cool. You can see all the orchards out here that have replaced the sugarcane fields. So they're trying to bring some kind of agriculture back to the island, which is fantastic. It's diversifying from all the hotels and resorts and vacation ownership. Thank you, sir. I might have a need for speed here. Look at that, you can see the whole mountain of Haleakalā there in the background. And the goal today was to drive all the way to the top up there, which is at about 10,000 feet, a little over 10,000 feet. I'm not really dressed for that, so we'll see how far I get. It gets a little chilly up there. And my weak bones are used to the 70 to 80 degree temperatures, so. But it's fun. We're getting out there, we're driving around, we're having a fun day. Just feeling the wind through my hair. Or what's left of it anyway. Nice windy roads. Very few potholes. And not a lot of debris on the road, which is great when you're riding a motorcycle. Beautiful sunny days in Hawaii. I don't think I ever get tired of them. Here's a few potholes. But that's the worst of it. Everything else is smooth sailing. Something a little interesting is when you're driving from sea level. And I was coming from Kahului, and to get to the Haleakalā summit, it's actually one of the steepest elevation gains accessible by road anywhere in the world. It goes all the way up to 10,000 feet, so that can be crazy. And the temperature swings, the summit can be 30 to 40 degrees colder than what it's at sea level down in Kahului. So It's not unusual to leave your shorts and bring your winter coat along, which I didn't do on this trip, so we'll see how far I get. You will notice on this side of the island, the central part of Maui, that it looks a lot drier than other parts of the island. There's lots of interesting little microclimates on the island of Maui, very similar to Kauai and the Big Island. But you can generally find sunshine anywhere you want, so never worry too much about there being too much rain or something like that, unless there's a hurricane incoming, which we luckily just missed. Thankfully, Kiko went north of us, although we could have used the rain for sure. I think there's like an argument that people say that when the sugarcane fields were here, the climate was a lot greener, and that's probably true just because they irrigated those sugarcane fields quite a bit, and that sugarcane acted somewhat like a canopy for water cycling. Some groups are proposing planting trees and regenerative agriculture practices to build up soil moisture, and you'll see that in the orchards that are kind of on the side of the road as you go up the mountain. But if you didn't know any better, you'd think you're driving through Arizona or something. There's a lot of kiawe through here, so that's most of what you see on the left side of the road there. Just watch out, because that's got some crazy spiny thorns in it. But it makes for great smoking of barbecues using that kiawe wood. I try to use it all the time when I'm smoking something on the grill. Always be patient on Maui. Never feel like you gotta pass people or honk at them, because you never know whose auntie or uncle is in that truck. And Maui, small community, everybody knows everybody. So you gotta be respectful. Be nice to the people, have patience. You get to where you're going when you need to get there. I think that's the best way that you can be when you come to Maui. Is just be patient, relax. It's not like the mainland. Just take your time. And if you are going to pass somebody, throw them a shaka. Say thanks. They let you in. Wave at them. Tell them you appreciate it. And only pass in safe areas. Like this. Mahalos. Something to be aware of around this island is there's lots of speed bumps. They call them speed tables. They have them all over the island. It's just a way to slow everybody down so that they're not driving like crazy animals through the streets. Because sometimes there are crazy animals in the streets. A lot of times you'll find feral pigs. You'll find like deer that are a little bit larger than a large dog. Usually it's in the mornings or the evenings that they come out. So if you're driving all breakneck crazy, you likely run into one. And that's gonna do some cracks on your vehicle, so You just kind of take your time. Every now and then you will see these grazing cattle on the side of the road, and those are much larger. You don't want to run into one of those. That'd do some permanent damage to your car. But always be on the lookout for those speed tables. They usually mark them pretty well. Lots of signs. The area we're going to be coming up to here is called Kula. And Kula is well known for its Saturday markets. Lots of fresh produce. Amazing stuff you don't find in the store. Almost all of it's locally grown. One of the nice places you can come visit up here is a place called the Lavender Farm. And there's just these sweeping views of the island. You like sit on the mountainside with these grassy fields that are just amazing. Quite spectacular. You get the bi-coastal views, so you see both sides of the island from up there. And during a certain time of the year when the lavender farms are blooming, you really get to enjoy it. It's beautiful. Purple flowers everywhere. As you get into Kula, you start to see lots of farms. You see a few horses and cows, lots of fields. People's houses are a little bit further spaced apart. We like to call them paniolos on the island. So that's their version of a cowboy, I guess. Or a rancher, not sure which. But it's really nice country. It's very beautiful. Beat table. There's some horses there on the right. If you're prone to getting car sick easily, you probably want to be driving or riding a motorcycle. Lots of switchbacks and turns all the way up the mountain. The further you rise in elevation, the more green everything is, until you get to about 7,000 or 8,000 feet, and then it's all volcanic rock. But it's interesting to see how it changes. Like we just went from like a dry, deserty type environment, to all of a sudden we got all this greenery and flowers, and just looks a little bit more robust. Lots of beautiful homes up here. Makes the drive even more fun. checking out how amazing people's houses are. Pretty soon you'll start to be able to see the views where you can see the ocean. There's not a lot of places to eat or get food or drink, so make sure you stock up before you go. Stop in Kula, stop in Makawao, stop in town before you leave, and set yourself up with some refreshments and snacks, because it's probably a 45-minute to an hour drive up the mountain. And it's always good to have car snacks. One of the things I used to look forward to driving up here all the time was to stop at the Kula Lodge and Restaurant. But unfortunately, in August, they had a fire and they burned the restaurant down, which sucked because that place was the bomb. Really, really good wood-fired pizzas. The views were spectacular. They have these seating areas that have these amazing views. Sit outside, or you could sit inside. They had floor-to-ceiling windows that, you know, it was great for a romantic evening. You wanted to take somebody there. They also just had really great food. I'm gonna miss that place. I hope they rebuild. Good thing to keep in mind is that you're driving up the road, keep your speed checked in, because you never know when there's like a trailer or a large truck coming around the corner, or somebody just standing in the road. It happens quite a bit in these little backcountry roads like this, so I always want to be aware of that. That's why you see so many speed bumps. They just want to keep people at the speed limit. Look at this guy up here on this tree. He's like roped into that Y section of that tree on the left, and he's trying to cut it. That looks a little sketchy. Anyway, that's kind of the stuff you gotta watch out for. You never know when a tree's gonna drop on the road or something crazy's gonna happen, so I always look at these straightaways and I go, I'm gonna speed up. And then mofo, popo come around the corner just waiting for me to speed. And here's another example of somebody just walking down the road. Could be on your side, could be on their side. You never know. So, yeah, 5-0 is everywhere. Good thing to keep in mind. So now we're starting to hit some elevation. We're getting close to about 3,000 feet above sea level. And one thing that's interesting up here is you'll start to see these eucalyptus forests pop up. You can kind of see them there on the right. But apparently that's not good for the environment. I guess that eucalyptus has some kind of oil in its tree bark that doesn't allow water to soak into the soil. Kind of leaves an oily film on the surface of the sand, and then the water just kind of goes downhill and takes a bunch of debris with it. So we worked up here at Skyline, Hawaii for a volunteer effort. And when you're on Maui, or any of the islands, you should look into volunteering. It's actually really good for the community. You learn a lot. It's kind of fun. You get to know the locals, and you can do some fun stuff with it. So they had us doing some tree planting. They were removing the eucalyptus forests and creating beds for new growth and planting some of the local trees and things up here that would kind of bring back the original environment. So it's kind of nice to spend the day working and doing something you hadn't done before, but also helping the community. So, volunteer. I recommend it. You never know, you might learn a new skill. We did a few home builds for Habitat for Humanity up here. And it was really cool. I mean, they some of the people lost their homes during the same time that the Lahaina wildfire happened. I don't know if most of you know, but there were several fires that occurred during that time in August, and some of them were up here in Kula, and a few people lost their homes up here too. So Habitat for Humanity was helping them build back, which is really cool. You don't need to be skilled or tradesman or anything. We're going to take the turn here up to the Haleakalā. But like I said, you can go there with no skills. They'll show you what to do. Worked with a gentleman named Jason, and he was very informative. I'm sorry, his name was Justin. But you know, they know exactly what to do, and they'll walk you through it, and they'll inspect all the work that you do. And you're helping people get back on their feet. So volunteering is pretty awesome. There are a few little grocery stands, or I should say fruit stands, maybe a coffee place here and there up here that you can stop and get a snack. But you never know when they're open. So I recommend getting something in advance. But if you see them open, stop by. They usually always have something good. Banana bread is really popular on this island for some reason. I guess all the bananas grow like crazy here. So I guess it's garbage day on Maui. That's the other thing you gotta watch out for. Sometimes those cans, after they empty them, get blown over by the wind and end up in the road. So keep your eyes open. As we start to climb this hill a little bit more, you really see the elevation coming up. You see a lot of succulents, flowering plants. They have some crazy cactus up here that look like they're from like a Dr. Seuss world or something. Pretty amazing. So Skyline Hawaii is a zip line place as well, and a big shout out to them. They really do some cool stuff for the community. There's even a month, I think, in September where they do a canned food drive, and if you bring a certain amount of canned food or rice or something like that, then they let you zip line all day for free. I was like, oh, gotta check that out. Check out this house on the right. Look at all those flowers. Just jumps out to you when you're driving by. You see that eucalyptus forest in the background there. It's all bedraggled looking, haggard. Those ones are looking at cutting out and planting local style things that were there originally, like kiawe, ohia, things like that. Aloha, postman. Big trucks coming down right now because there's road work being done up here at the top of the mountain. You know, for this being such a windy, twisty road, it's in really good condition, and they look to keep it that way through the state park. So this is Skyline Hawaii up here on the left. Go check them out. They're pretty cool. The entrance there. Pretty good place. This is where you can see Haleakalā on the left. And you get kind of the bi-coastal views there. I know that was a quick shot, but you can see Molokini Crater out there on the right. Great place for snorkeling. You take a boat out there, tie up to a buoy, don't anchor. They don't tell you that. But I like to tell people, so everybody knows. It's like a $50,000 fine if you drop a boat anchor. I didn't know that. There's also nature reserves up there. You can't bring your boat into a nature reserve. That island, Koho'olawe, was used for bombing practice back in the day, 40s and 50s. So there's live ordnances still on the island. So you can't go on the island unless you're invited or you're volunteering for something. So if you're in a boat, don't go within 2 nautical miles of the island. Otherwise they give you a big old fine for your own safety, which I understand. Somebody should put some signage up or a buoy or something, because you don't like to be the new local that finds out the hard way. Road's getting real steep now. And it's getting cold. I think I'm wearing shorts. They actually offer bike tours up here too. So you can take a van with a trailer up here, and they'll drop a whole group of you off at the top, and you can bike down. So if you're not scared of going fast on a bike, it's a pretty cool ride with a great view. But watch out, there's lots of traffic. Look at these guys on the left. No pads, just a helmet. They're in shorts. Gonna be some nasty road rash if they eat it. So one thing I did recently was I took my son, he came to visit me here on Maui, and I took him up to Haleakalā. Maybe we'll roll on those clips as we get up here on the mountain, so you can see what the top of the mountain is like. Another reason to drive slow. You don't want to take out a biker. There's that van and trailer that the bike company follows you down with. And all the traffic lined up behind it. Again, Hawaii is for patience. So don't come here in a hurry. Come here to relax, enjoy yourself. It's all about enjoying nature, taking in the views. You can see some amazing views up here. You don't really see it right now because I'm riding uphill. But on the way down, whoo, you really get the views. A little distracting, you gotta keep your eyes on the road. So sometimes it's helpful to go behind somebody that's going slow, because then you can enjoy the view. See that view? Here's that road work I was talking about. They're actually replacing the entire road. So they're digging up all the asphalt and laying down new asphalt, which is fantastic, especially for someone that likes to ride bikes. Well, look at this up here. Someone wasn't paying attention and ran over all the cones. Aw. I might have to stop on the way down and stand it back up. But anyway, why don't we roll on those next clips, since it's getting a little chilly now. All right, check out these. This is from like a month ago. Welcome to the summit of Haleakalā. Look at that. These observatories they do all kinds of solar research. You can see the big island in the background there. You gotta walk slowly. It's up to 10,000 feet. Just the stair climb will win you. You can hear the wind just howling up here. Brandon's king of the world there. Look at those craters. It's amazing. Those little cisterns everywhere. There's the big island again. Brandon found some interesting little treasures. This little bedazzled dog. Guess his mom likes chihuahuas, so he's taking it to her. That was a sunny day. It was actually only about 65 degrees up there, so it wasn't too bad. Light jacket made it nice. It's inside the crater itself. Pretty amazing to take it all in. You can actually hike down there. There's a trail. These are called Haleakalā silver sword cactus. They only bloom about once every 30 to 50 years. So it's kind of rare to see it. And after they bloom, they die. Pretty amazing. We just happened to be lucky enough to see it. These were pretty spectacular looking. They were probably like 6 feet tall. Very beautiful, with the clouds slowly hovering in, the wind howling. We're kind of blocked here from the main part of the wind. That was it. It was a fun day. We had a blast. Got to see a lot of cool things. Got to show my son the top of Maui. I think he had a good time. Probably got a sunburn on his top of his head. But look at those views. It's totally worth it. You can see the big island there in the background. Woohoo! Oh, I gotta pick these cones up. I forgot. I have to stop up here and walk back. Cone's all picked up, back on the road, heading back down. Check out that view. Lots of hairpin turns, so your head on a swivel. See the north side of Maui there. Even see both sides of the island, so the north side and the south side. Getting out here, just taking a leisurely day for a drive. It's pretty spectacular. You can even see Lanai in the background there. Sometimes you have to just pull over to the side of the road, take a deep breath, and just take in the view. I mean, look at this. That's spectacular. I mean, it'd be nicer if there were less clouds, but I'm not complaining. All right, nobody coming? Time to head back down. How's that? Truck's going uphill when I'm going downhill. Makes for a nice ride. And it's starting to get warmer as you go downhill. Look at all these trucks coming up. Hopefully they'll be done with that road construction real soon. But just know, if you come up a month from now or something, that road will probably be all done and it'll look beautiful. Didn't really need to be repaired, but they're doing it anyway. It's fantastic. I wish more counties and states would do stuff like that. Fix it before it gets bad, but I don't know much about government. I'm sure it costs lots of money. Anyway, just want to thank everybody for joining us. Hope you made it this far in the video. Thanks for living life with us. Get out there, enjoy it. You only get one life, so live it to its fullest. Thanks again for joining us. We will see you next week. Make sure you get off that couch and live life now. Till next time. Peace.